set up as well. So I'm going to duplicate the fractal front layer, and on this fractal front layer I will call this fractal back, and I would like to reverse this layer needs to only show the fractal on his back. So what I will do is firstly duplicate this layer, this object, and this will be the man fractal back, and then I will remove the fractal front from this layer if it's possible to do so. Unfortunately not, so I will actually delete this layer and take the man fractal back and remove it from layer, create layer from selected, and this layer only contains the man fractal back, so this will be fractal back. And I will now attempt to remove the fractal back from the fractal front. So I've just decided instead of removing the object on this front layer, I'll actually just hide the fractal back because I'm unable to remove it. Now on the back layer here, the only layer that I have, so the only geometry that I have is the fractal back, which is what I want. And in the render settings, under render stats, I don't want him to be double-sided. I want this to be the opposite of him. And currently it has the skin attached to it, so let's apply the fractal noise Lambert that we made. Where are you, fractal? Here you are. And let's just compare the two layers. It's good that we're seeing a difference. And let me also just see if it's inherited the correct start and end frames. Yes, it starts at frame 50 and is completely gone by frame 90. That's correct. And let me just do a quick render just to make sure alpha channel is perfect. So let's just set up and make sure that we have a layer override for this. We need to start at frame 50, need to end it at frame 90, and I believe that is the same settings for the skin, so the fractal front and the fractal back. Yep, they're both the same. And the skin reverse is indeed from 50 to 90, and the skin itself is from frame 1 to 90. And I believe that all the settings have been set up correctly, so we can go ahead and batch render this. Now I've just noticed that on the skin layer here, we're actually getting his reflection, and as I said before, we don't want the shadow, and we don't want the reflection either, because we need to have control over them when they need to be separate from the actual skin. So I'm just going to go into the outliner and hide this plane in the skin and in the skin reverse. So again, just checking all the layers to make sure that they're as we want them to be. And when that's done, we can do our batch render, and yep, that's looking good. So batch render. Alright, that render has finished. That was quite a quick one. So let's get compositing again. Let's first bring in the master skin. Let's place it on here. And this is our character. And actually might create this into a pre-composition. This will be called the skin. I'll call this skin start because it's at the very start. And I'll just go back into the displacement, delete this layer, and let's add the ambient occlusion on top of that. and I'll set that one to multiply. And let me just set the matte again. As you know, when we're increasing these layers here, we're getting this weird effect. Actually, this ambient occlusion is looking very odd with these harsh eyes here. So I actually am not going to use the ambient occlusion. I'm actually going to use the matte plastic, which is which has a much more softer ambient occlusion, which will work better for us. So I'm going to tint this layer here and set this to multiply. And it's very dark, so let's grab the levels and mix these up a bit. So I need to lighten it right up and just put it in the displacement and see what looks good. Currently, I think this looks quite good. I might want to lighten it up a little bit more using the middle slider here. Yeah, that's looking good. Yep, happy with that. This is after and this is before. Good. So yeah, let's just deal with this. Let's create a matte here. And I'll format that before getting more of that fringing, and we've reduced that a bit here. Yep, that looks better. Now let's grab this fractal front layer here and do our transition. So just line up to around frame 50 where it starts, and we can alpha matte this. We can see that it disappears if I turn this layer off. Now we don't have anything here, so let's just duplicate the layer on top and end it there, and then we have this cool fractal transition. And then I'm going to at the end here, I want to pre-compose these and create the skin start, and I'll cut that there. And what I'm wanting to do with this is sort of create an additive transition so that it kind of looks like he's transforming into a glass type material. So let's use CC Composite to composite itself on top of itself and use additive mode. And I want to start around frame 50 where this transition begins and set to 0, hit U, and go to the very end here and set it to 100%, and I'll make these easy ease. And let's just preview this. That's looking nice. It might start a little early. Oops. Just want to move the first keyframe. That's very nice. Now let's get the back of him. So at around frame 50, let's grab the skin reverse, place that underneath. So if we see this, we can see his shell. And let's grab the fractal reverse. Where is it? Fractal back. And let's put this here. And this will alpha matte the fractal back. And we can see the effect. This is without it, this is with it. And that's cool. Alright, let's pre-compose these two. I'll call this skin reverse start, and I'll cut it there just to signify where it ends, and also cut it to where it starts so I know where it's taking effect. And I'll do the same CC Composite, so I can just copy this one over, paste it here. Cool, that's a cool transition. Alright. Now, just one more thing, random compositing thing, is I'm noticing that I actually shot this footage way too dark. the available light here wasn't very good, and I had the shutter speed up too high. So what I'm going to do to the background footage is mainly just to highlight the displacement again, is increase the brightness, because it is too dark, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So let's increase the brightness to about here. I'm going to be increasing noise and things like that, but it's going to be worth it. And let's also just increase the brightness in general. So if we have a look at something like here, we can see before and after. We can see the character a bit better once we have a brighter scene. And also what I'd like to do is increase the displacement to make it a bit more obvious that and give it a bit more depth. So let's do a RAM preview and see what we have. Here we go. Very cool. Now, just one thing I'd like to address is the aliasing on the edges. And just close this down. Let's have a look at the edge here. The edge could be causing a little bit of that. It's definitely adding to the problem. So in edge, I might like to just go in here and maybe do a fast blur or something on it. Should probably pre-compose these. This is the edge contents. Let me do a 0.5 blur, and let me just see the difference, if any, that has made. Let me turn off the actual skin itself. Oops. Turn off the actual displacement. This is the edge now. Take a photo. Turn off the fast blur. That's before and after. Hasn't really had much impact. It definitely has, well, it has softened it a little bit, but maybe I'd prefer to blur it after the fact. Let's go into displacement. Yeah, that's much better, much better. But maybe just lower it a little. Now we're not getting that harsh edge anymore. So let's turn the displacement back on, and let me grab this fast blur here, and in the luminance, let me just pre-compose these and call this luminance contents, and do a fast blur of 0.3 there. And in the depth, I'll apply that to this one, and that's helping a little bit. It seems to be mainly around the alpha. Let's do a on here, let's just view its alpha. You can see the edges that it has. Let's do a alpha blur, or a channel blur, and let's blur the alpha 0.5. Let's see if that has any effect. This is on the edge, so no, that won't help us. We need to do that on the depth and the luminance. So instead of doing a fast blur and blurring everything, I just want to blur the alpha 0.5, and same with the depth, because I don't want to soften the actual values we're getting. And I'm sure that's helping. Let's do a after, and let's turn these off and see if it's actually made a difference. Yeah, definitely around edges